Johnson came out before and said there will be major changes with the Fever versus the Golden State Valkyries tomorrow. I will be live 30 minutes before the game.
And, hopefully we can get KP and Cam back. Our whole system's designed around KP.
At adversity. Lynn Roberts is going to get fired, you guys. I'm letting that be known right now. And they are looking to and this is new GM, a whole new infrastructure.
Me, I don't think they will. But if you're just looking at vets,
subscribe, share the channel, and I will be live for tomorrow's game.
I've been trying to tell y'all, something is going down. Before we get into it, let's separate what's real here from what's theory. Magic Johnson has genuinely talked publicly about wanting the Sparks to become a major player in this league again, and that part checks out. Whether that translates into anything involving Caitlin Clark specifically is a completely different question we'll get into.
Breaking down the fact that Kelsey Plum could be on her way out. And the word is spreading like wildfire. If you only have Kelsey Plum under contract for this season and she's free to walk, and you're probably going to get a new coach, new GM, a whole new infrastructure, do you think Kelsey Plum's going to want to re-sign again with another unsure situation? No. So you could possibly lose her for nothing. You could trade her and get assets that you could then use to go and get Caitlin Clark out of Indiana. Take a look at this.
the other thing.
Here's the real part. Kelsey Plum is genuinely on an expiring one-year contract, and multiple credible outlets, including The Athletic, have reported that former GM Reagan Pebley was actively making trade calls involving Plum before she was let go. The idea that those trade assets would then specifically be used to land Caitlin Clark, though, isn't something any actual reporting supports. That's this creator's own theory layered on top of real trade speculation.
Jock, the LA Sparks are continuing to make major moves. Magic Johnson came out before and said there will be major changes with the LA Sparks. He wants the Sparks to become a prominent figure in the WNBA again. You know Magic wants to make a splash.
Calling it 100% the Clark Show, once Plum is cleared out, is a fun theory, but it's worth being honest about what it actually is. Speculation built on real personal connections. Kate Martin and Cameron Brink genuinely are on this roster, and genuinely are close with Clark, stacked with zero actual reporting that the Sparks are pursuing her specifically.
Making process from the Dominique Malunga trade for Kelsey Plum, giving up Sarah Ashley Barker, trading Rakia Jackson for Ariel.
Yo, that GM that got fired made some horrible moves. How do you give up Sarah Ashley Barker, who you took in the top 10, who was balling, played well as a rookie? Now she's a starter. She's a starter in Portland. You gave up Rakia Jackson. Granted, she tore her ACL after, but giving up Rakia Jackson for Ariel Atkins, that GM had to go. That's crazy work.
Atkins giving out all of those bad contracts, just down the board, a lot of bad decisions from that front office. So we'll see what the direction is at the deadline. If I had to...
Lynn Roberts is going to get fired. I'm just putting it out there. I want to flag this clearly. I found no reporting anywhere confirming Roberts' job is actually in jeopardy. That's this creator's prediction, not a sourced report, and it's worth treating it that way.
You guys, I'm letting that be known right now, and they are looking to move Kelsey Plum. You got all the fans already blasting Lynn Roberts. Now, I'm telling you the moves that they are continuing to make. Take a look at this here. The LA Sparks practice facility in El Segundo construction update. State-of-the-art facility expected to open in 2020.
Here's Roberts' actual response when asked directly about her job security. I don't think we underachieved last year. We tripled our wins from the year before. This year we have not hit our stride. We've played one game with everybody healthy. That's a real, substantive answer, not somebody who sounds like she's bracing to get fired.
It gets us to the halfway point, so I'm not even close to thinking that we are underachieving at all.
Now, she knows her job is on the line. She's about to get fired. The LA Sparks are 10-12. They're not going to make the playoffs again under her. She knows she's on the way out. Take a look at this. Sparks coach shuts down brutal season. And this is the key part where she tried to say, oh, we're one game out of the play.
And her follow-up is just as real. I'm not buying into the narrative that we're having some brutal season. This is a process. We've had adversity. The Sparks are genuinely 10-12 this season and dealing with real injury issues to Plum and Cameron Brink, which is legitimate context for a rough record, not necessarily coaching failure.
Her and get assets that you could then use to go and get Caitlin Clark out of Indiana. Take a look at this.
The other thing is, Kelsey Plum is on a 1-year deal. Do you explore what a trade package would look like there if you were the Sparks, if you are looking to pivot? That would be the big red button. If you were asking me, I don't think they will. But if you're just looking at vets, it would make sense to at least hear what other teams are saying. The answer is still.
The new practice facility in El Segundo is real too. It's genuinely under construction and expected to open in 2027. That's a real, confirmed franchise investment, independent of any Clark speculation attached to it.
For Ariel Atkins, that GM had to go. That's crazy work.
Atkins giving out all of those bad contracts, just down the board, a lot of bad decisions from that front office. So we'll see what the direction is at the deadline. If I had to imagine, this is an ownership decision. If ownership believes that Kelsey Plum is not coming back and they want to pivot from here, they want to move into like more of a rebuild, a retooling period without Kelsey Plum, get younger, get off of these long-term deals, then why not trade her now? 1-year deal, you trade a lot to get her, the number 2 overall pick. So if there's going to be a trade that's going to happen, who could do it?
This next part is from an actual Yahoo Sports Dunker Spot trade analysis, and it's worth hearing in full. The analyst directly says exploring a Plum trade would be the big red button, and when asked if the Sparks would actually pull that trigger, the answer is still ultimately no. That's a real credentialed analyst being far more cautious about an actual trade happening than this video's framing suggests.
Decisions from that front office. So we'll see what the direction is at the deadline. If I had to imagine, this is an ownership decision. If ownership believes that Kelsey Plum is not coming back and they want to pivot from here, they want to move into like more of a rebuild, a retooling period without Kelsey Plum, get younger, get off of these long-term deals, then why not trade her now? 1-year deal, you trade a lot to get her, the number 2 overall pick. So if there's going to be a trade that's going to happen, who could do it? The one team I look at as a serious contender for this is the Golden State Valkyries. Golden State's roster is so well built around not having a number 1 option. They have Gabby Williams, who's...
And here's where I need to be direct with you. Later in this same real discussion, a name gets floated connecting Plum trade assets to going and getting Caitlin Clark. I could not find that claim anywhere in actual Yahoo Sports reporting on this topic, and every piece of real trade analysis I found treats Golden State and Washington as the realistic destinations for Plum, with zero mention of Clark anywhere in that context. That specific claim looks like it got spliced into a real discussion rather than being part of it.
For this live, you are going to want to make sure you are there. I'll be live 30 minutes before the game tomorrow, so make sure you join me. Now, the LA Sparks are gearing up to make a move, and I knew when Michael Thompson, Laker legend, who also happens to have a great relationship with Magic Johnson, who's heavily invested into the Sparks, has heavy input into the Sparks, when he jumped out of nowhere and went public saying the LA...
This part is fully real and well documented. The Sparks did part ways with GM Reagan Pebley, and her track record gets a fair amount of real criticism here. The Dominique Malonga trade context, giving up on Sarah Ashley Barker, who's now starting in Portland, and trading Racuna Williams for Ariel Atkins. Real front office accountability, no speculation required.
Tell y'all, I don't know when, but something is going down like young Jock. The LA Sparks are continuing to make major moves. Magic Johnson came out before and said there will be major changes.
The real analyst framing here is solid, grounded basketball logic. If ownership believes Plum isn't returning and wants to retool, moving her now for value while she still has trade worth makes sense regardless of any Clark angle. That's just sound roster management on a 1-year rental.
You can get something, you can get assets for her now. I don't see, it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't want to get this done. Take a look at this here.
Probably not happening, but she is really the only player at this deadline that could actually swing a title race. Of any other players we'll talk about this video, none of them are that significant to the degree of Kelsey Plum. LA has now parted ways.
And the actual basketball case for Golden State makes sense on its own merits too. They're a well-built defensive roster that's missing that elite, late-game shot creator, and Plum's clutch scoring genuinely fills that specific gap. That's a real defensible trade idea that doesn't need a Caitlin Clark subplot to make sense.
Valkyries. If I'm the Golden State Valkyries, we are the 3 seed, 1 game out of the 1 seed. We can deal with that later.
I mean, look, the talks are heating up. Kelsey Plum, you're either going to lose her in the offseason for nothing, or you can get something, you can get assets for her now. I don't see, it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't want to get this done. Take a look at this here.
Probably not happening, but she is